Hello, 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 hello. Uh, just going live for a little bit. Atlanta rapper cash out sentence alongside mother. Oh my goodness. I haven't heard of any of these people. I'm gonna take an Amtrak across America. I really am. That is what I would like to do. Mm-mm-mm. AI Singularity with special guest Ryan Bailey. Huh. Hello, hello, hello. So I think the title, if it's still showing, excuse me, some relationships aren't meant to last forever. Now, I was looking at this. She had this channel called Wanna Eat, and she had a Wanna Eat and then a Wanna Eat 2. Hello. She had a channel called Wanna Eat, and I remember watching that channel years ago because I like to see her impersonations. It's a young lady, young brown woman. And then she came up with a channel called Wanna Eat 2, where she did a lot of pranks and mukbangs with her mom. It was like a video with a bunch of pranks with her mother. And she would mostly prank her mother. Now, something happened over the last year. I don't know what kind of disagreement they both had, but their relationship is over. And even though the young lady looked like she kept trying, and she kept wanting a relationship with her mother made it crystal clear that she's not interested in a relationship with her daughter. I'm looking at her latest video. She has her own channel now called I'm Official M. Okay. Um, if I can try to show it without, hold on a second. Hold on a second, you guys. I just want to show you her channel. If you ever feel like checking her out, I think she still has all of those videos posted of everything that went on with her and her mother. If you guys want to check that out. But here's the channel. It's called I'm Official M. And it's the young woman that had that channel called Wanna Eat. It's Juana Eat, EAT, like Wanna Eat, like that. And she had a channel called Wanna Eat 2, where she had mostly mukbangs for her mother, and it was a bunch of pranks. And this is her latest video that she just dropped today, which is July the 21st, 2025. Seeing I had to go back home and it got messy. And basically, she was talking about how she ordered some stuff from Fashion Nova. And she lives in Atlanta. She lives in an apartment in Atlanta. And she ordered some stuff from Fashion Nova, but she made a mistake and had it go to her house in Mobile, which is her mom's house. And, well, she spoke to her therapist. She said she spoke to her therapist about should she go to her mom's house to get those outfits because she really needs those outfits. And her therapist was like, I realize that you love your mother, but this is not a good time to go over there. Like it's not even safe to go to the house to pick up the clothes that went there by accident. Because her mother told her to do not call her mom. Her mother told her not to call her mom anymore. Okay, I'm gonna click on her name so you can see some of her videos. Some of you guys might be familiar with her. She's popular. She's an influencer. Okay, but that's her. I'm gonna see if she still got all those videos up from where she was having these disagreements and where her mother put her out. And okay, fine. Sometimes your parents put you out because it's time to get out. But the way the relationship went is, yeah, she still had these videos up from where her mother, see, She still had it. She found out. Now I have to say this. So these are videos from 3 months ago. Those are all of her videos where it's really going through the disagreements with her. I had to move out, and here's why. That came out 4 months ago. That's when I was like, because before, like, I'm not interested in like hair, her hair. People do hair reviews and stuff for these companies. I don't really care about that stuff, and I don't even watch mukbangs. I don't watch mukbangs either. I don't need to watch people eat food. Now, if some people like do these restaurants where they do these reviews on, and I might want to try the restaurant, that's different. But I don't need to watch folks eat, But I just started watching these videos, when she's talking about things that's going on with her life. And it's called I Had to Move Out, and Here's Why. And packing up my whole life in 2 days. I had no choice, and that's her. But anyway, the truth, addressing the confusion. This is what really happened. So, but she still, even with all of that, she still did not say anything negative about her mother. Okay, she still did not say what happened. She still did not say what caused her to have. She still did not go into any of that. She never said anything negative. But I want to say that sometimes relationships aren't meant to last forever. And I'm glad that psychologist, I'm really thankful for psychologists sometimes, because they have a background. They understand. Because anybody else would have kept telling her to try to work it out with her mother, even though her mother was very, very, I don't even want to say the word nasty. I'm not going to judge her mother. But she made it clear she's not interested in a relationship with her daughter. She made it clear. And so I'm really glad. Sometimes I'm happy for professionals, people who are psychiatrists, and people who understand how the mind works. They understand relationships, and instead of just thinking like society, like, oh, you only have one mother, you need to go and try to make it work. You can't make it work with somebody else who's not interested in making it work. You cannot make, even if like you're the mother and the other person is your daughter, like vice versa. It's not just about mothers. You can be the mother, the other person can be your daughter. You cannot make it work with a person who's not interested in making it work. You cannot do it. And society will have you going to kiss this person's behind no matter what. But the psychologist said no. She made it clear that she's not interested in a relationship. She told you to stop calling her your mom. She said, don't call me mother anymore. Like, that is serious. But I'm not going to act like I haven't been through worse. Let me say it like that. I'm not going to act like I'm not going to talk about this young lady situation like I ain't been through it. Because trust me, the stuff that I've been through with my family, I kind of wish, and not to say that I'm not about to minimize anybody's pain at all, because everybody got a right. Everybody have a right to their feelings now. No matter how small or big it is, it's their experience, and they have a right to express themselves. But I'm going to tell you, when it comes to my situation, I wish I would just have a relationship that didn't work out with my family and it be left at that. It gets onto another level when children are being tampered with. And I don't even mean molestation and all that stuff. Like, I'm talking about some ritual type stuff going on in the house. Like, that's on another level when they into that work. Like, when they get into that spiritual type of work and they trying to do everything to ruin your life, and you a child growing up trying to understand why things ain't working out, why you act like this, why your mind is like this. When I was 5 to 6 and 4, I remember just being an upbeat, joyous person, and everything went downhill and trying to figure it out. Sometimes I wish my story can be like, okay, it didn't work on my mother, so I had to move on. I'm sad, but I moved on. I wish that could just be my story, because I would always have had my mind. Like, I would have always have had my mind. I don't have to do all this other stuff and getting my doggone power back and all my energy back and my identity back. Like, I had to get my identity back, because the lady who was my mother, it was the energy vampire. She was an energy vampire. Like, I'm not saying that like she take people's energy. I'm saying like she does that work. She take people's energy. I'm not saying an energy vampire as a way of, arguing all the time or doing. I'm talking literally, she was into that stuff. And as a child, you're unaware. It just and this is a person that you feel like you trust the most. Obviously, it's going to work until you grow up and you figure out the truth. It's not going to work as well anymore. Okay, because you know the truth, but you got to undo all of the years of damage that has already been done, and that's what I'm talking about. I kind of sometimes wish I would have just had a bad relationship with my family and still kept my mind and just moved on like that. Okay, but just to say that I'm glad that she had a psychologist that understood the situation. Say, look, I know that's your mother. I know you love her, but she told you she don't want a relationship with you. She told you not to call her mother. So like, no, don't try no more. Somebody gonna tell you not to call them your mother, to call their mother. Don't ever talk to her again. Like, don't ever talk to her again. It's no need. Don't even try. When somebody make it clear they're not interested in talking to me, when somebody make it clear that they're not interested in a relationship with me at all, when I see you, I'm gonna look the other way. And I'm not gonna feel bad about it because you're the one that made it clear that you don't want nothing to do with me. So when I see you, I'm gonna keep it moving. And I'm not gonna feel bad. Okay? And the kind of how it is with my family. I haven't really talked to anybody because I don't want anybody asking me if I've talked to people in my family. They're very dangerous people. And it's hard for me to convince anybody of that. They're very dangerous people. Okay, they're very dangerous. And it's unfortunate that I can't convince anybody of that, but one day I'll be vindicated. One day I'll be vindicated, but I'm not going to, it gets to a point where, relationships aren't meant to last forever, and sometimes people who are your mother or who are your brother, they follow you from a different particular life experience. They could have been your enemies in a different life experience, and they come back in this life experience as your mother or your brother. But they could have been your enemy from a different life experience. And so that's that too. So it's always different ways to look at it. But I just want to talk about that really quickly. Like, when it comes to these type of relationships, those relationships, just because somebody's your mother or they're your father or whatever, or even your daughter or son, they're not always meant to last forever. Sometimes they're just not always meant to last forever. And I really think that's okay. It should not be a shame that it doesn't work out. It's just is what it is. Why does it have to be a shame? Oh, it's a shame that they can't work it out. Why does it have to be a shame? It's just not. It's not. They're not meant to be around each other. They grew apart. Whatever happened, they're not meant to be around each other anymore. And that's it. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I just feel like talking about that really quickly. Man, time really flies. And I didn't realize some of you guys on the East Coast, it's already after 9 o'clock. And people on Central Time, it's after 8. It's almost 8:30. I didn't even realize. Sometimes the sun is just like, it's just completely still daylight that I completely forget what time it is everywhere else. It's like, it's 6:30. It's 6:25 over here. 6:25, and the sun is like, it's completely daylight. It's completely daylight. But anyway, I just want to go live, my usual live, to talk about something. I'm gonna get on a topic where it's like it's a deep topic, and it's dealing with the heart. And so I had a dream last night, and I come out my body and I try to see where I'm going, and then I start going down. I said, "What's weighing me down?" Let me tell you something. You can be a nice person, but a lot of stuff can be going on in your heart that you are unaware of, and some people might call that the subconscious mind, whatever. You can have a lot going on in your heart that you're unaware of. And for me, the way I see the heart, I think the heart is just the subconscious mind. I really feel like that's what the heart is. Because you have to master your heart. And so a lot of people who this is why I did a video about Aunt Jemima's, and I was talking about the difference between a Jezebel and an Aunt Jemima. And even though some of the Jezebel might be considered something that's evil, when it comes to which one is going, when they transition, that Aunt Jemima that so-called did everything for everybody, she might just be going to a lower level than the Jezebel, because the stuff that you have in your heart and the way your heart is measured is what matters. And every time I say this, I'm speaking from experience. I don't care about nothing in no book. I know people talk about Maya and all that stuff. I don't care what's written, because it has to be shown to me through everything I say is through experience. Because what's going to happen is I can't just read what somebody else put in the book and I go and repeat it to somebody else like I actually know that to be true just because I read somebody else's writing. But it really matters what's in your heart or your subconscious, whatever you want to call it. And sometimes you're carrying the sins of your mother or your ancestors or whatever. And I don't believe in carrying the sins of anybody else. I think I'm just going to say each person should be responsible for their own. But honestly, we're not separated. So I don't want to get into talking like separation. But I don't believe that's what you call a generational curse. And what I was saying is like the Aunt Jemima type that does everything for everybody. The thing is that everybody throw their burdens at her as well. Everybody throw their burdens at her. And what happens is all this stuff weighs in her heart, even though she was this kind, giving person. All this stuff continues to weigh in her heart. And then when she dies, where she goes is where the heaviest is. And where the heaviest is, it's a lot of burdens. It's a lot of oppression. It's a lot of struggle. And so her heart is still heavy, even though on the outward, she was a very nice person and always helpful. She was burdened. And when she transitioned, she went into a lower level. Okay. And so that is something that I saw. And it just really gets to the point that I already realized all of this that I'm witnessing is my subconscious mind. Everything I see is my subconscious mind. It's really all a dream. I'm literally in a dream. Okay. And yeah, all this has to go. Like I have to let all of this go. It's just not worth it from what I saw. Like, when I saw like coming out of my body and then what to go after that. And I saw where I was like, no. And I do a lot of work on myself and it still doesn't seem to be enough. So I'm almost like the world needs to go. I don't want to carry the world in my heart anymore. The world has to go. Like the world has to go. Okay. Some of these shows that come out, I was working yesterday and I went in one of the patients' rooms and we were trying to find something on TV. And I promise you, every show that was coming on, it was like dark. And I saw it like that because my eyes are different because of the particular type of work that I'm doing with myself. I saw all of those shows were just so dark. You know, and it could be like Law and Order or something like that, but it's still dark. It's still focusing on crime and all that stuff. Like, no, when you continue to watch that stuff and take that stuff into your subconscious and you don't realize that becomes a part of who you are and it weighs you down, you know, even when you're looking at it. So the reason why we see things and all the crazy stuff that's happening in the world, sometimes we don't see it. Sometimes we just hear about it. But it's because when we tune into it, it attaches to us. It's almost like an invitation for it to come into our heart. And then it'll actually start to become reality. Then we'll start seeing that stuff. It's like welcoming demons, welcoming attachments and stuff like that, and then it starts to happen in reality for real, because before it became reality, we tuned into it. We watched the movies, we watched all that stuff, and now it's become reality. But anyway, I just felt like talking for a little bit, and I will talk to you guys later. Alrighty.